Well, they were able to work together.
All right, that's the House Speaker John Boehner as Republican leaders unveil the first part of their plan to slash government spending. I had a meeting at the White House with the president for lunch there. By $35 billion they want to cut. And just as challenging and as important as trying to figure out how to carve that much out of the budget, maybe trying to work with the White House to get the cuts finished. Republican Congressman Mike Pence out of Indiana knows that America is watching. And, sir, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Bill.
There in Washington, D.C. How are you going to work this out?
Well, we're going to work it out, and we're going to keep our word to the American people. You know, in the Pledge to America, Republicans said that we would save taxpayers at least $100 billion in the first year. And what's going on right now on Capitol Hill are negotiations among Republicans to keep our word. And I believe that we will. House Appropriators did some yeoman's work this week. They came up with discretionary and security savings of a little bit over $70 billion. House conservatives believe we can do better. We believe we can hit that $100 billion mark. And I think we should. You know, you never get a second chance at a first impression, Bill. And I think it's very important that this new Republican majority start out with the American people by keeping our word to reduce spending to pre-stimulus, pre-bailout levels and save at least $100 billion in this first tranche.
That would take us back to 2008. Speaking of making a first impression, you have dozens of new Republican House members.
Right.
And the word we're hearing is that there are arguments behind closed doors that, you know, they're pushing for more and more cuts.
Right.
How much more? And are these meetings heated?
Well, look, you know, I don't know if they're heated, but they're frank. I mean, you've got a lot of men and women that have just arrived in Washington. You got people like yours truly that have been out here fighting the budget battles for years. And we're all united. I want to make that clear. House Republicans, from the leadership to the newest member, are all united in the principle that we have to make the hard choices to put our fiscal house in order. And I believe we will. Now, there's that old saying that, you know, if you like sausage, don't go where they make it. I know the press likes to, you know, report on every different aspect and iteration of this, but I think what's going on right now is very healthy. It's a debate among Republicans, not about whether we ought to be cutting spending, but by how much. And my lodestar and House conservatives believe we just have to hit the mark of at least $100 billion in the first year.
I apologize for the interruption, but the reason I'm interrupting you is because you're insisting there is no fracture. Well, we do know there are some House Republican leaders warning don't cut too deeply. Don't go after the police departments, the fire departments, or the FBI, because that will not look good. Are you aware of those discussions?
You know, we are. I had some conversations on the House floor yesterday with some colleagues, and while I appreciate the work the House Appropriations Committee has done on a piecemeal basis, focusing on specific programs, you know, I think the better approach is just simply an across-the-board cut. I think the way we reduce spending to pre-2008 or back to 2008 levels, pre-stimulus, pre-bailout, is we ought to just get out a ruler and draw a line across it and have every different program take a haircut. The problem is when you start to pick specific programs, all the special interests associated with each of those programs begin to mobilize. The American people are ready for us to make hard choices. They're ready for us to put their money where our mouth is. And I'm going to continue to champion that maybe we'll take what the Appropriations Committee has done, but the way we get to $100 billion is let's take an across-the-board cut of another 10% of what remains.
And you also have 87 new House members who want to go home and show the folks back home that they went to Washington and did something. The pressure is clear. $100 billion, that's the mark you lay down. We'll see if we get there. Mike Pence, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, Martha.
Well, you all just laid out the troublesome situation that the country